All right, so that's 1 6 notes here, measuring center. So again, if you recall, this idea of the center is one of the ways that we usually describe our distributions. Okay, so we're going to talk about two types of centers moving forward, both of which I think you're familiar with. All right, so how should we describe a distribution of quantitative data is centered? Well, to see where it's centered, we should use either the median or the mean, one of these two things. Now, I think we always think that the mean is the best way, but in reality, it's not always the best way. So, for instance, when I look at my grades, usually I always have a student who does well 99, 100%, no matter how I teach, right? They're just intelligent and good students. And then I always have at least one student who I think didn't study and gets like a 32%, right? So those are the extreme values which I feel like affect the mean in negative ways. So sometimes I'll use the median and I'll say, okay, where's that middle value at, right? So what is the median? It's the midpoint of the distribution. So for your median, if it's the midpoint, that means that half the data is smaller and half the data is larger. Okay, and again, if you're going to do it by hand, you should arrange the values from smallest to largest. If it's an odd number of data, it's the exact middle value. If it's an even number of data, you have to find the average of the two middle values. So for the first one with an odd number, it will be one of the numbers in your data set. But for the second, if it's an even number of data, it might not be an exact number. It might be like a half, like a 12.5 or something like that. But we're gonna use stats. We're gonna use the stats applets to calculate everything for us. So no worries there on this. But when you take an ACT or SAT, you should be able to find the median by hand, but not here. Don't care. Okay, so example one, where's the beef? Here are the data on the amount of fat in grams in 12 different beef sandwiches from McDonald's 2014 menu. Find the median and interpret this value in context. So again, if I were to do this by hand, I would take these 12 numbers, I would line them up in order from least to greatest, and because there's 12, I'd have to find the middle two values and take the average. But what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to take a picture of this, and I'm going to use the one quantitative stats applet to type in our data. Okay, so let me get out of this. Let me go to my stats applets. What's nice about this is I don't have to worry about putting them in order either, right? I just have to list them all. And I'm not making, so one quantitative, I'm not making a graph, so I don't really care what the variable name is. I just want to get the median, and I'll show you. So 27, 11, 22, 21, 40, 8, 17, 15, 29, 31, 27, and 26. And I'll click Begin Analysis. Now, if you scroll down, there's the dot plot. But this is what I care about. This is called the summary statistics. Now, first of all, look at that n value. That's the number of numbers you put in. Make sure it is 12 because that's how many they gave us. And then right here, MED, that stands for median. Our median is 24. So if I go back to my notes and I present this, so we have a median value of 24. So my median is 24, and that'd be grams. So what does that mean? How would I interpret that? Well, I would say that half the sandwiches have less than 24 grams of fat, and lowercase. Don't mean to be all English teacher on you, but yeah, and half the sandwiches have more than 24 grams of fat. And there we go. And again, just to emphasize that if you look at the data, 24 is not one of the data values. That's because you had an even number of numbers and you need to take the average of the two middle numbers. All right, that was objective one. Objective two is coming right now.